So when I first walked into the Boys and Girls Club, it was really small and kind of dirty. We had to go into the cafeteria and clean everything up and get it ready for them. So I first thought it wouldn't be as great because there was no real organization, but then once we took over, we were really able to get it going, get it clean, get it organized the way we wanted it, and so then it was ready. Yeah.
At Boys and Girls Club, there were many challenges we faced while we were presenting to them. One challenge was some of the kids were very shy and not able to open up, so we had to work with them on that. Also, some of them were fighting with each other and laughing at each other, making fun of each other. We had to help them get along and be friends. And then after a while, they weren't paying attention, so we had to grab their attention with our presentation and just make them have fun and feel happy.
The children at Boys and Girls Club were kind of different from the children at Jamatkhana. They were really humble at first. They were really hard to get to because they didn't want to open up to anybody, but near the end you could see that they were truly impacted by this. A lot of the kids didn't want to leave. They were making handshakes with me and stuff. So it kind of took a little bit of pushing for the kids at Boys and Girls Club, whereas at Kana they were being loud and fun the whole time. But with the Boys and Girls Club kids, you needed to get them out of their shell more because of the way they've been raised and the background that they come from.
Some similarities between the Boys and Girls Club and Kane were that both groups liked the same activities, kind of like the Polaroid picture experiment where we took a picture of them and they drew a background of themselves. So that was very interesting. And then another similarity was that they same age group and same grades and all that. So that was a similarity. And then
So when the kids first came in, I asked each of them what they wanted to be. One of the little boys said he wanted to be an NBA player. His friend who was sitting right next to him told him that he couldn't be an NBA player because he's too short. Then the first kid started talking about how his dad's 5'10" and he could be whatever he wanted to be. And that they just got into a little bit of argument about who was tall enough to be an NBA player and who would be the better NBA player. And it was really funny to see how passionate they were about height.
I learned many things from my experience for this project. One thing that I learned was that kids really like to be taught new things, and that's something I learned that they like to learn. And also I learned how to manage kids and try to keep them entertained. I also learned that kids really like to have fun, and when they are having fun, they will learn also.
I also learned that kids enjoy being in the spotlight even if they seem shy. Once they get the opportunity to express themselves, no matter where they come from, what background they're raised from, they like expressing themselves, they like telling people what they want to be a part of, and they like exploring. And that was a really cool thing to see. And this is how we grew.
So probably the biggest challenge I faced was when the kids first came in and we were asking them questions. Most of them wanted to answer without raising their hand, or they wanted to interrupt someone else just to get to the right answer. So that was a challenge because like other kids who were shy and didn't want to talk, they wouldn't get a chance to talk. So we figured this out eventually, but at first it was a challenge because we had no idea how to handle that situation.
Some of the differences between the Boys and Girls Club students and the Jamatkhana students was their ideologies on their different situations they were given. So when they were doing the judge activity specifically, they were given opportunities to decide what was right and what was wrong. And their ideologies differed in the sense that the kids who were grown up in Jamatkhana and were given a sense of what was right and what was wrong since they were young, they could differentiate what was good from bad, whereas the students at Boys and Girls Club had to kind of think it through, and they had many conflicts amongst themselves on what was right and what was wrong.
So the funniest part was when we played Simon Says, and it was all the kids and all like people from our class, and so at the end it was down to two people, Sarah here and one of the other little participants, and as an older person she should have let the little kid win, but no, she wouldn't take that as an answer, and she kept going, and I thought that was really funny because it shows how mean she is.
Okay, so some of the similarities between the students at Boys and Girls Club and Jamatkhana was their passion and desire for learning. So they both wanted to learn, but they also wanted to have those fun activities with it. So we spent a good 5 minutes just teaching them, and then the rest was activities. And you could tell that in both groups the students wanted to get to the activity and get along and have fun. And so it was just fun seeing them, seeing both groups having fun and wanting to do those activities that we prepared for them.
One thing that I learned through this whole thing was when researching careers and looking up job information and what education you need, along with teaching it to the kids. I think I also learned because some of these things I didn't know about, like photographer or teacher. I didn't know the details, so doing this project helped me realize what it actually takes.
And through this project, I learned more about students and their desires and passions of wanting to learn, because I didn't think that third graders actually knew what they wanted to be and cared about those aspects of their future. So I really didn't think about what I wanted to be as a third grader, and it was great seeing that these students at the age they are, wanting to know what they wanted to be at such a young age. It was great, seeing that along with teaching them and informing them to stay in school.
And this is how we grew.